Hello everyone and welcome back to Krastorio 2. This is Otaku Showboat and today we will be going into advanced oil processing. If you have been enjoying the series thus far, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff down below the video, and you can of course support me on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushowboat if you are so inclined and able. And we have an Ollie. Hello Ollie, welcome back to the chair today, or later today since I'm recording. This is my third video in a row on this particular recording session with many more to go. So I'm just going to go back to my mall first so that I can pick up additional chemical plants. I'm going to need quite a few of these as well as quite a few pipes going forward here. So first off, lots of those. Just a few more of the regular pipe. I don't need too many of those. And while all this is happening, as I build all of this, techs are flowing freely. I'm working on robotics. I need to apparently unlock LDS too before I can get into things. I'll need to get advanced electronics too as well. So the advanced electronics are going to now require me to get into rare metals. I have everything other than the rare metals. So it's not as much of a time gap as getting into the chemical tech cards from that standpoint. The low density structures are also going to be the first time that we need to start spending steel for tech. Remember how I said that it didn't appear as if steel was used directly in tech? That is true. Steel is not used directly in tech, but it is used in the form of low-density structures in particular. And I'm going to need LDS anyway for various other things, so let's just grab a whole bunch of stuff. Maybe I might want some more oil refineries. I'm going to need a water input, so I've got my deep water wells, and we are off to the races here with all of this stuff right in here. Hello, my oil setup. I now need to add a whole bunch of pipe on this side to act as my water input for the advanced oil refinery. So let's do that. And speaking of oil, I haven't really discussed this yet, but there was a huge controversy when the Factorio developers decided to change basic oil refining to only give petroleum gas, and I was absolutely on the side of against. I was anti this change, and I am still sort of anti this change. There are parts of it that I like, such as the fact that it's now pretty easy to have and tell the outputs here. I'm glad they've limited the input to just the one input there for the crude oil. But in particular, what I did not think was okay for new players in particular, by having just the one output here, was that it's very easy to design a setup that you'll have to completely redesign because you didn't plan on these outputs. Yes, I know you can see these two outputs, but you don't. If it's your first time playing Factorio, you've never looked up anything, you see this basic oil stuff, you haven't looked at what happens at advanced oil processing yet, it's pretty easy to design in a way that you don't have the pipes like this, unless you've looked at guides. So it's... I took some... I put a lot of weight behind that in my determinations of how I felt about these setups. It seems very much like people could have some level of confusion by having the extra two items, the light and the heavy oil, get added onto these outputs on you, and it would force some people who hadn't already pre-planned it to have to redesign. And it just delays, it merely delays people from having to learn how to handle the multi-output system of the advanced oil refining. It it doesn't solve the problem, like it doesn't make it so that you don't have to learn about how to handle the multiple outputs. You still have to learn to handle the multiple outputs of these processes. That hasn't changed at all. And I get that chemical science is a long period of time. That also ends up being the point where you have to learn how to handle multi-output thing, the like only multi-output thing in vanilla. But I mean, come on. Come on. It's gonna have to be learned sooner or later. Why can't it be then? Why can it not be then? Anyway, that's light oil. Let me get the lightest of light oil. Brought over and into the thingy. I'm not keen, I think, on setting up processing of light oil here. Because then I'd have to, like, keep on adding trains and adding to this depot, and yeah, I think I'll just shove it onto a train, and or couple trains, and move on from there. Anyway, this is 30 oil refineries, so I will go into and select 30 oil refineries, and note that, yeah, we're about to start backing up on our heavy oil here. This is going to make 330 petroleum gas. That is quite different because we have these other things. We're going to end up with a lot more petroleum gas than we had before, thanks to advanced oil refining. And we're going to have cracking to make even more of the petroleum gas. What I was going to do is process all of this heavy oil into lubricant. That is the key that I was going to do here. Because I don't need heavy oil for anything other than lubricant, and then any extra can get cracked down into petroleum gas. This is Krastorio, which means I have access to a flare stack, which means I can get rid of this heavy oil. I'm pretty sure heavy oil can be straight up burned in a fluid burner. And so can excess light oil. This is not a good idea when you absolutely have access to being able to crack it into light and then light into petroleum. I would always crack down to petroleum, and then if I need more heavy or more light, then I can produce of the petroleum, then I'm using the petroleum. Well, I could void the petroleum if I really have to, or design it in such a way that it allows it to back up or produce more stuff. You can end up in situations where you need more heavy or light than you are able to consume your petroleum. So I would prefer being able to crack down excess all the way down to petroleum and then void excess petroleum. In fact, that might be what I do right now. I have my fluid burners, whatever the heck they're called, right down here in my mall. So I will grab a stack of those. And also, I don't think I ever put... Are there valves? Wait a minute. There are no valves. Why are there no valves? Huh. Interesting. So we're gonna have to at least deal with that through other means, through the selective use of pumps and tanks. So I'll get to teach you how to do a uh, overflow valve using pumps and the circuit network system, circuit wires. So this will be a good lesson in circuits and how to actually that you can do this in vanilla too. So that's a good vanilla recipe. A good vanilla recipe. It's as if we're cooking. Yes, we are cooking with very, very toxic petrochemicals. That's what we're doing. I have 150, so I need 15. I think that's about 15. It's 14. There we go. Just for my own sense of aesthetics, let's move that a little bit over. Entities. I am going to build this to conserve on entity count. So, this is technically better on entity count. Huh? Right, 15. There, it's an odd number, so that will go there, I guess. This gap of 2 at scale matters for game performance reasons. That's the only reason to design this way. It's just to conserve on the number of physical objects on the map at a given point in time. It's very small, minuscule, but you know what? We'll do it this time. Not like my PC can't handle a few extra entities, but we're going to repeat this ever. We need to make sure we have all of this planned out. So, yeah, that's going to be like that. So I did mention I want to prefer all of my heavy oil get converted into lubricant. So that's what we're going to prefer. Nice little animation there. I rarely ever pay attention to the animation. So, what's going to happen? I need tanks. I need a lot of tanks. I would prefer the hugest of huge tanks for this. And I would actually prefer this if it was in line with the heavy oil. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put that there. I'm going to pump all of my heavy oil into this tank. And we're going to pump heavy oil out of this tank. And of course we'll pump lubricant into this tank. That's all I need for initial stuff. The next step is cracking down to light. I need to set up enough chemical plants to crack up to my full 150 per second that I am currently producing of the heavy oil, all the way down into light. And then I need to do the same thing for the petroleum. I also need to throw this stuff into a separate light oil tank through pumps inputting into the light oil tank, and it needs to also output directly. Nothing thus far has used circuit wires, just so we are clear on that. This will also offload into the stuff over here and go onto trains, preferentially. Alright, this is 8. I need 8 of these, and they need to be separated by a tile. This is the most advanced aspect of vanilla, by the way, is this type of stuff and this setup. So let's do that and copy it all the way down. Uses lots of pipes too, so make sure you've got easy access to lots and lots and lots and lots of pipes. So the thing about pumps is that you can put circuits on them, circuit wires, and the wire can be used to control when a pump is active. And since we know how much stuff a tank can hold, we can tell it to only be activated when the stuff in the tank is above a specific threshold value. And that's what we'll do for our cracking setups. It'll activate the cracking when the amount of it'll shove stuff out via pump when we are above a certain specific threshold value. Now, I could do that, not necessarily out of the tank, but we're gonna do that out of the tank. And I need to, like, by necessity, move that a little bit. Alright, so a wire. Doesn't matter what type of wire, just needs to be a wire. And in this case, we can do the anything here. If any of the input signals meet the condition, it will output true. I would have liked to use each. I would have preferred it if I could have each on this, but it doesn't look like each exists for this particular purpose. That's a little unfortunate. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I would have liked an each. Because that means I have to check the everything here. So if the heavy oil is greater than or equal to how much stuff is this tank can hold? 200,000. What's 80% of 200,000 times 0.8 is 160,000. So if we are greater than or equal to 160,000 units of heavy oil, we will be enabled. I can just clean out. I can actually clean out the whole system. I wish it considered this a separate pipe system, but oh well. And we can see that this doesn't have anything in it right now. As we fill the stuff with the things again. And this will connect all the way up here to that cracking. We then can do the exact same thing with the light oil and hook up a wire to the light oil and be like, hey, you're only going to be enabled if the light oil is greater than or equal to 160,000 units. That will fill the tank to 80% and then crack the rest, send the rest out for cracking. And that, my friends, is the normal way, vanilla way of doing an overflow valve in the base mechanics. That basically makes the pump an overflow valve. And it's one way, because it's a pump. It's pushing in one direction. And that's the only thing you need to do to have complete control over the cracking setup. Similar thing with this. I don't know exactly how many I need to crack all of my light oil into petroleum gas. Likely a heck of a lot more than just 8 because we've got 270. So we have, if all of my light oil is backed up, we have 270 light oil that we're making, and then an additional up to 120. So 390 light oil is what I need to plan around. So 390 is going to be 26 chemical plants on this recipe. I'm actually gonna just kill all the other stuff there. Like, my goodness gracious, 26. That is a lot. And I have gone through all of the text now, which is great. What else do I need here? These and that. That is required. And what about the things that I need for the things? Well, I think we'll be okay there. Having the power armor or having modular armor would be great. I can make modular armor now, but seeing as how I can soon enough have power armor 2 as well, that would be great. Ooh, Tesla coils. I don't need any of that in my life. What I would prefer is a personal roboport. Ah, I see Ollie is emerging. Ollie, you have emerged. Hello. Hello, my boy. Yes, come say hello. Say hello, Ollie. Yes, my boy. Yeah, go climb, climb, squirm, squirm, get away, get away, get away. All right. So personal roboports. Yeah, you. I like you. You are good. You are fantastic. I like you a lot. I need you. I need you in my life. I need batteries in my life to do that. Oh, vehicle roboports. That's even nicer. So the idea, of course, is I want to really get into construction robots with personal roboports and personal uh, solar panels. Where are the personal solar panels? The portable. There we go. I can totally make this. I can just grab some red circuits and we're good to go. We are good on stuffs. I will need to like get solar panels though. I'll need to get solar panels anyway because I need them provided on my network to get satellites because they eat solar panels and accumulators and radars as well as the other stuff. And then satellites launch and give you space research data. That's how this mechanic works now for the optimization tech cards. Optimization tech cards are your space science. Made in quantum computers. Great. Fantastic. So, this is 8. I need 24? 6? 26? 8, 16. Oh god. Yeah, about that. I think it would be best to reverse and offset. And that is 32. 28. 26. I'll cut 4 off and have 2 extra. And we'll go with that. You know what? Place the power first. I wish it wouldn't, like, force me to delete the thing when it's just a rotation of the building. Like, I want the game to be smart enough to know that it can just rotate the building. Like, just rotate the building. That would be great. And then, of course, I will do that same little overflow technique with the petroleum gas and shove the excess directly into burners. Gotta burn it all. I will do that as well. That will connect both of the lines. Just all of the regular pipes here in the middle first, and then on the outsides, and then all of the pipe to ground stuffs. Probably gonna run out of pipe at some point rather quickly here. But you know what? We're right close to our mall to pick up more. Oh, it looks like I am just enough on the regular pipe. But I will need to get more. But I will need more. Wow, 26 minutes. Yeah, I knew advanced oil processing like this would take up the entirety of the video today, so here we are, taking up the entirety of the video today with all of the cracking and stuff, and then we'll actually get to use this stuff next time that we meet, which is probably going to be like immediately, for me at least, recording in the next video. There we go, there's that side. There's all the stuff in the middle. I have all this on the top. Let's get all the ones on the bottom. Get these going. I think that, as they say, is that. I need to hook up the petroleum lines and add our good friend water. And pick up additional pipe, regular steel pipes. So how's this looking? We're good. We're moving. We are smoking, doing great stuff. Doing this all pretty quickly, I might add. That was not a ton of time spent on all of that. Oh, and we have the tech cards now, or the ability to craft the tech cards if I had research servers to make them. Oh, they can be made in quantum computers too. That is good to know, actually. That is really good to know. Alright. So I'm also going to need to do rare earth. Oh boy, yeah, that's another thing tacked onto the list. I have to start mining rare earth stuff now and set up a train station to mine rare earth and get the chlorine for the rare earth. Oh boy, it's a good thing that so I chose this mine spot for a reason, because it's right next to stone that I can use to do crushing into the sand for the chlorine for this mining of the rare earth. That is pretty much exclusively why I chose that. Let's see. I need... Yeah, that's not enough space. Huh. I guess I can do it. Freaking heck, it's not. I need to move this over like a couple. so that I can put this huge tank here and have enough space for the pump in and pump out there. And then that should be good. There's your power. Power to the pumps. Then I need the pump in here, I guess. This needs to output to the input on the cracking. We have our techs. So it's at this point now that I have the things that I truly want. Let's have a look at things like the electric furnaces, which I absolutely want. Things like I'm a little hesitant on mining productivity, not so much a thing that I need. I need the advanced labs if I want to get into the stuffs. This is stack inserter capacity. I don't really have stack inserters right now. Could probably get them though. The robot upgrades aren't going to matter yet. Exoskeletons would make me faster if and when I can make them. That's a little bit more time before I can really make those. So yeah, it's like nothing in particular that I can start doing right now besides these guys. Substations I can use. Braking force improves the efficiency of the trains a little bit, locomotives, so I'll go ahead and pick that stuff up, pick up the research speed, increase, get into advanced chemistry, which is actually required. And I guess we'll take it from there. Enriched ores is it's so you spend sulfuric acid to, or in this case hydrogen chloride, which I guess is easy enough because you need chlorine anyway to do the mining of rare metals. This makes enriched 9 into 6, 9 of the ore into 6 enriched, and then it's 1-to-1 enriched to plates, as opposed to the 2-to-1 ratio, right? So this improves it from 2-to-1 to what is that ratio again? It's like it's a slight. It's not good enough. It's not 1-to-1. It's not as good as that, but it is an improvement. Ugh. Yeah. So that's 3-to-2, and then it's 1-to-1. So instead of getting 4.5 plates, you get 5. Wee! Woohoo! Instead of getting 4.5 plates for the copper per second of 9 copper, you get 5. Woohoo! Much rejoicing. What you end up with is dirty water, I guess, that you can filter for additional ore to help on that, but I am not a fan. I am not a fan of this enriching. I am more of a fan of this enriching because it is an extra step that I can potentially do productivity on and beacon for speed. That is, I think, where it will begin to shine a bit more, is if I can do productivity on that. And that is a pretty easy thing to check here. If I look for enriched, whatever, it doesn't matter. If I click this, I can see, yes, it can absolutely take productivity. That adds an extra step of productivity, and that will be what makes this viable in the long term, but it is not going to be that useful to do that transition right now. It has been 35 minutes for this video, which means that as this stuff gets cracked, the little bit that was in this system and goes into this guy, I need to bring that over to here. All of it loads into the thingy. The last step here is to have that wire looking for petroleum gas to be enabled if we are greater than or equal to 160,000 and set that condition. And of course, set up the burners to burn. I do not know what the burn rate is. This is slow. This is really slow. Crafting speed 1. And it's not gonna... 50 items per set. Wow, that is so slow. Okay, that's... That is real slow. Real slow. So... How much total would I need to burn? Well, technically, I don't need to burn here. I don't need to burn here. If we're really, really... Oh, I see someone else. I see a dolly! We haven't seen Dolly yet. In a little bit. We haven't seen the doll. How's my doll? My dolly. Yes, my dolly. You're here now. You haven't been in here today. Yes, my dolly. Yeah, you can relax next to me. Be with me while I record. Okay. I am going to do this in a slightly different way. So, I need enough room for stuff to happen. For magic. I need magic. Let's make some magic happen here. Alright. So, what I'm going to do is we're going to load into this tank from here. So this is the output of cracking into the petroleum gas. This only happens if this is full. This cracking only happens when this is full to get this stuff. Thank you, Dolly, for jumping on and knocking down Amiibo. I should do something similar to this with the light oil so that I'm using, like, all my light oil, but I don't care. I just want to make sure that I'm not, like, voiding the petroleum gas. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to let this tank fill and max. But I can't let it, though. No, we're gonna go back to the way we were. We're gonna just go back to the way we were. Let's not be that fancy. Let's not be that fancy. There's other weaknesses too to that. I am very much getting way ahead of myself. All right, let's get that wire back. Do the thing. Petroleum gas greater than or equal to 160. Excuse me, 160,000. And from here, she keeps knocking stuff down. Please. Get down. Knocking more stuff on the way. Over. This. That. I need. It's 100, 200, 300. 400, 500, 600, 700. I don't care. It's a lot. It's Allet. Mythical Allet. And that'll be what I do. It'll keep things flowing. That keeps things flowing. It'll never stop. Yes, it's a little bit of a waste, but whatever. It'll make sure that if I do have a bigger demand on heavy oil or light oil, that it won't just stop because I'm backed up on petroleum. Anyway, with all of that said and done, it has been 40 minutes just working on all of the heavy, like, all the advanced oil processing. Today was advanced oil processing day. I hope you've learned a thing or two. I've learned a thing or two, I can say that for certain, about how these guys work and all of that. With that, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat. If you have enjoyed this video and series thus far, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff down below the video. You can, of course, support me on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushowboat if you are so inclined and able, and I will see you all on the next one.